Governor Ron DeSantis is now coming after colleges who have the audacity to teach diversity. He says it will not stand in his state. All right, let's put up his picture. This is exactly what I predicted would happen. I told you this was the ultimate plan. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Tuesday announced plans to block state colleges from having programs on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, naturally, he threw in critical race theory, but it's really diversity, equity, and inclusion. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, they are now saying the inside part on the outside. Critical race theory, that whole movement was a distraction from what they really wanted to do. No one in K through 12 education taught critical race theory. That's why the anti-CRT bills in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Texas, none of them say they are banning critical race theory. It's not in the statutory language. As a matter of fact, I said, great, ban critical race theory in K through 12 education. The reason why I agreed with it is because it's not taught in K through 12 education. Would have been a nothing burger. But the real plan was to eliminate teaching diversity, to eliminate teaching the truth of America's racial or racist history, things like that. Now they're saying it out loud. So let me give you the rest. Put his picture back up. DeSantis debuted the proposal as part of a larger higher education legislative package that is expected to be taken up by the GOP-controlled and COP-controlled state house when it's in for regular session. Now that's in March, all right? That's right around the corner. Last year, the governor signed legislation dubbed the Stop Woke Act that restricts certain race-based conversations and analysis in schools and also in businesses. The law bars instruction that says members of one race are inherently racist or should feel guilt for past actions committed by others of the same race, among other things. Now, naturally, those diversity programs do not tell people to feel guilty. This is his interpretation. This month, the DeSantis administration blocked a new advanced placement course on African American studies being taught in high schools. We covered that as well, saying it violates state law and is historically inaccurate. That comes from the same man who literally said on the microphone, we need to teach a different kind of history. Yeah, not the history that's real, but the history that's patriotic. After heavy criticism from Governor Ron DeSantis, the College Board released on Wednesday an official curriculum for its new advanced placement course in African American studies. Now, this is from the College Board. Stripped of much of the subject matter that had angered the governor and other conservatives. You do realize he wants to be king, right? He's not interested in being a governor. He wants to be a king. And what he's doing, this is for the people of Florida. I hope you understand. You're in a laboratory and a madman named DeSantis is your science director. And in this laboratory, he's letting everyone in the country know what he's going to bring to the United States of America after he first experiments on you. This is what he's doing. There's more. The College Board purged, ladies and gentlemen, the names of Black writers and Black scholars associated in any way with critical race theory, which means I would not be able to teach in the state of Florida personally at the college level. The queer experience and Black feminism. It ushered out some politically fraught topics like Black Lives Matter from the formal curriculum. It added something new. Black conservatism is allowed. It is now offered as a good idea for a research project. Black Lives Matter out. Teachers being able to bring in a non-vetted Winnie the Pooh books, that's out. They'll get charged with a third-degree felony now. However, you would like to study Black conservatism, that's in. Put up the picture, David Coleman. David Coleman is the head of the College Board. Said in an interview that the changes were all made for pedagogical reasons. That's the teaching style, and that's how we impact students through the art of education. Not to bow to political pressure, he says. At the College Board, we can't look to statements of political leaders, he said. The changes, he said, came from the input of professors and long-standing AP principals. Well, damn it, sir, give me some names. Give me some names. Because the professors that I know, none of them are anti-critical race theory. None of them are anti-inclusion and diversity. So please submit the list of professors who informed you to make this decision. And to the citizens of Florida, you have standing here. You can request an Open Records Act request and say, give me the list of professors, because he works for you. He works for the government. He's paid by you. And because of that, there are two dynamics associated with his public position. One, freedom of information. Two, open records. Go ahead and find out who these professors are. I believe they don't exist. I think the only professor he's listening to is the madman running that damn state. AB, thoughts here?
This is a problem when you give people who are willfully ignorant and quite frankly racist this type of platform. So as a former AP student, I can say that you get to choose your AP courses. And I know that one of DeSantis's argument is that you don't want to indoctrinate people without their choice. Well, you get to choose what AP courses you decide to take. So if you choose not to take AP African American history, that is on you. In addition to that, he complains about indoctrinating people and being woke. Well, this is one of the things that CRT highlights. And I can confirm this as a current law student who is currently in critical race theory right now, taking the course right now. And I felt it was important to take this course regardless of how busy my schedule was, because I wanted to be able to talk about these type of issues without the same ignorance that people like DeSantis use to talk about it. So what critical race theory does is it points out the issues with conversations like this, is that you tend to isolate Black students, right? And alienate them from their history and make them feel like what they are learning is not important and actually dangerous. And that is far from the case. What critical race theory does not do is try to convince another race of people to hate themselves or feel bad about themselves. What it does is let you know that there are different type of people that live in this country and have to deal with issues on a day-to-day that we normally do not address. And because of the way that education has been taught throughout the years, a lot of students have felt alienated and have felt like their position in this country has not been validated and is not being taught. And so they don't understand where they come from and they don't understand where they're going. So essentially what you are doing in retrospect is indoctrinating people to feel like their history and their knowledge is not important because they're not important. The only thing that is important is making sure that conservatives get their way. And quite frankly, what I think is that y'all conservatives are dying off. And so what you are trying to do is indoctrinate more people, younger people, to learn your antics and your tactics so that you guys don't lose your power. But unfortunately, no matter how hard you try, it is going to happen because the more you push against it, the more people are gonna push for it. And that's all I'm gonna say about that one.
That's very, very well said. And you are absolutely right. The energy they are putting into this, they are going to get it back sevenfold from those who will not stand for it.